Hello, welcome back. This is part 2 of Is the Silverado Fixed or Not? So, I'm Mr. H. I am with you on A-Level Tech. Now let's talk about the Silverado. Okay, spoiler alert. Yes, it's back on the road. I have gotten it fixed. It took me about a half an hour or so once I had the parts to put everything back together. Hopefully you got from the first video what happened to the truck. Now this second video kind of is a shorter version of what happened after that as far as the fixes go. So with that being said, from now on the truck is running with the chip, which was I found it online. It cost me roughly $200. Overnight shipping costs $40, so $240, but it's $240 well spent. So you can see there above my shoulder, that's what it looks like. All it does is just plug into the Pt.2 connector, and that's it. That's all you have to worry about. What it does is it keeps that active fuel management, or AFM for GM, from shutting that engine down to 4 cylinders. So like I said, it's not a permanent fix. It's just keeping that from happening and delaying replacing the engine, because really what it comes down to is tolerances have become too large and the engine has become gunked up too much, and it's just a little bit too little too late when it comes to a high mileage engine like that. But that is now installed. I also am about to segue into the video where I show you guys exactly what I did with that I guess you could say, it wasn't a flathead screwdriver when I was using it. I actually filed it down to where it was more of a rounded edge, because you don't want to nick into the lifter. You just want to make sure it gets that shock. So we're going to segue into that video where you guys actually see me using that screwdriver as a tool to get this lifter unstuck and to expand back to where it was normally at by hitting it with a hammer a couple of times. So let's go ahead, let's check that out quick, see how that worked out, just in case you run into this problem in the future. Here we go. That was pretty cool, wasn't it? So, where do we go from here? Well, now I'm going to go into another video, which is going to show you how exactly does this active fuel management work with the oil pressure. I did mention before in the first video I was going to follow up with that plate that goes over the valley of the block, and you'll see in the video that's about to come up how there's actual oil passages to actually go to each one of those cylinders that shuts down, and the electronics that are involved to make that happen. So without further ado, let's watch this other video of it. So with these holes here, what I wanted to show you was this bed plate is different than other 5.3 bed plates, but you can see it almost looks like some sort of alien language that's written on here. But these are all the oil passages that actually go to those cylinders for shutdown. You can see the actual electrical activators underneath, and then on the back side you have your oil pressure sending unit, which we will be swapping out the filter, because I'm pretty sure this guy is probably looking pretty bad by now. So we will swap out the filter, so when we're actually looking on the dash and watching the gauge for oil pressure, it seems to like want to drop off a little bit, and I'm pretty sure it's because this guy's clogged. Not that the sensor's bad, but this guy's probably clogged. So there's a filter in here, a really tiny one. So we're going to replace that. But here is where the connector goes, and this goes all the way to the car's computer, so the PCM or ECM, and this is what actually controls when these cylinders actually cut out and come back to life. So this is a different bed plate, so the center plate that goes in the valley of the block, than other 5.3s, and this is how you can tell if this is a an AFM or LC9 style 5.3 where you actually have cylinder deactivation. Is a regular bed plate will just be perfectly flat. There'll be no alien languages written on it, and there won't be a connector. But this one, this is how this works. I hope you guys enjoyed our little demo, and hopefully Mr. H will be back on the road later today and up and running. but this is what we had to do. Remember, it's not a fix, because we actually didn't fix the problem. We're just, how do I want to say it? Postponing the inevitable is what we're doing. So this is not the actual fix, but this is one way to get yourselves back on the road and get some more miles out of this engine. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope that gives you a little more in-depth explanation into how some of these vehicles work when they say they shut down cylinders. Every manufacturer has their different way, but I figured I would show you GM's way. And since the vehicle did break down on me, I might as well make the best of it for you guys to actually get some information and knowledge out of it. So this goes along with the engine's course itself. This shows you how oil pressure is manipulated to actually perform work on the engine, and how it doesn't work over time, whether it's a worn out engine or sludge buildup or whatever it may be. No system is bulletproof. So I'm glad I was able to share with you guys my journey into fixing this engine in my backyard. So it's a whole new entire demonstration of being a backyard mechanic. Literally did that right in my backyard, over the side of my porch. You can see my shed and everything in the background. But sometimes you got to make do with what you got. I couldn't get it to a shop. I couldn't get it to where the garage was, because it just wasn't runnable. When you have a check engine light that's flashing, you are having issues where you could possibly melt down a catalytic converter. You don't want to do more damage than you already have. So I had no choice but to just do it in my backyard. But I hope you liked the video. If you like these videos and you want to see more of it, by all means, smash that like button, just the way I did with that lifter to get it to pop back up. And also, subscribe so you get more updates on videos that come out. I mean, come on, this channel is pretty cool. At least you might think so if you made it this far. Might as well subscribe. All right, anyway, this is Mr. H with A-Level Tech, and I'll see you guys.